Hello guys, welcome in this new video on Afrik-innovscience. Afrik-innovscience is the YouTube channel promoting science, technology, engineering, mathematics in Africa. I have the honor, the privilege um, to present you guys someone very special, someone who is doing extraordinary things in Cameroon, precisely in Boya. His name is Mr. SIMO Yoan. Please stay connected and watch this video from the beginning to the end because what you are going to see is very, very interesting. Good evening, Mr. SIMO Yoan.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. And what about you?
No, I'm okay. 100%.
Thank you very much, Simo. Mr. Simo, thank you very much. Please, can you introduce yourself like that for the people who don't know you?
Okay, so hello to everyone who's also watching us. So my name is SIMO Yoan. I'm a passionate of aerospace engineering, second year master student in Mechatronics Engineering, College of Technology, University of Boya. I'm also the founder and chief executive officer of Unmanned Vehicles Laboratory, a tech startup that is actually based in the southwest region of Cameroon, and the president of Unmanned Vehicles Association, an association which helps to promote rising technologies like drone, robotics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, and modeling to youth for free. So that's basically who I am.
Interesting, very interesting. So, Mr. Simo, you are in the mechatronics field. What is mechatronics exactly for the people who don't know? What is mechatronics?
So actually, mechatronics engineering is a field that's coming very popular in the world right now, but it's something that's actually been existing so far, but we never knew that the term was actually mechatronics. So mechatronics, if you look at the mechatronics, you see that there is the mechanical part of it, there is the electronic part, there is the software part, and there is the control. Because in any mechatronics project, there's actually something or like digital control system they actually need to control. So mechatronics is the combination of all those four engineering. That is mechanical engineering, where you are studying the mechanisms, electronics in terms of circuits, power, software in terms of programming, and control in terms of communication techniques. So basically, that's the basic definition of mechatronics engineering.
Very interesting. It's interesting to have to be in a field which is like on a roundabout, connecting electronics, informatics, and mechanics. And
Yeah.
it's good to study. It's good to have knowledge, but it's also good to apply this knowledge. So
Yeah.
please, can you tell us how mechatronics can improve the living conditions of Africans in this year 2022 and in the future? What
Mm,
can mechatronics bring to Africa?
Actually, mechatronics is the heart of technology. For me, it's the heart of technology. Why? Because it's this combination can make amazing projects. First, at the level of robotics, we can impact at the level of agriculture, at the level of health, at the level of transport, at the level of communication, at the level of all the stages of sectors of application where we can actually tackle. So, firstly, at the level of robotics, if I can enter into agriculture, obviously, we have, for example, drones, okay, that are able to survey a particular land, take some images, for example, and use now some kind of predictions on the type of land to know whether these plants are actually good or they're actually bad. So the robotics part of it is the structure of the drone. That's the mechanics, first of all. You have now the electronics part. That is the electronics part of the mechatronics, because I told you that mechatronics is the mechanical, the electronic, the computer, and the control. Now, at the level of the computer, you have now the program, because everything needs to be programmed. So it's programming Python, for example, and you have now the control that is between the transmitter and the receiver. So we can use robotics to solve many of our problems. Basically, mechatronics is a very vague field. So we can impact at the level of agriculture. We can impact at the level of health. For example, you see in Rwanda, Zipline is using drones in order to take, how can I say, blood samples from one town to a hospital. So you see, it's actually amazing to actually see all the outcomes that we can actually obtain from mechatronics engineering as solution in our community.
Wow, it's amazing all what we can do with mechatronics. And knowing that in Africa we have so many problems, not only in the agricultural field, in the medical field, in so many fields. It's amazing what we can do with mechatronics.
Yeah.
And we hope that people who are watching us right now who can invest in what you are doing will not hesitate to invest and help you guys implement projects, because it's good to study, it's good to have knowledge, but it's better to implement these projects to help our communities. And you know, in developed countries, in Europe, Asia, or America, they are in the innovation part. But in Africa, we have to start at the bottom. And it's the reason why we have to invest, because everything is to be done in Africa. And having you guys locally on the continent, knowing which problems the population are facing, will help these investors to be sure that okay, they will not invest for nothing. So all the best for what you are doing, Mr. SIMO Yoan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are a founder too of UV, Unmanned Vehicles Laboratory. Please, thank you. Please, can you tell us what is the aim? What motivated you to create this association?
Okay, so there's a very big difference between UVLAB and UVA. So UVLAB is a company, it's a startup, and it's a research startup. You hear the word Unmanned Vehicles Laboratory, which means we are trying to research, we are trying to brainstorm on unmanned vehicles. That is technologies that doesn't stay the presence of a human being. So we are actually concentrating on technologies like robotics, artificial intelligence, drone. That is technologies where you never see a human being on it, but it can be controlled by a human being, or it can also work automatically. So Unmanned Vehicles Laboratory has been an inspiration since my Bachelor of Technology, still at College of Technology, University of Buea, where I had as final year project to design a drone that was not actually that perfect, but it led me to open many.
Your mind.
Yeah, so I was just going, I was in the continuity process, and it was an aspiration for me because after my internship in a drone company in Douala, I decided to go back for a master's of technology. And when coming back, I was just looking at the community in the Southwest and saying that there is no hardware community, or let me say there's no hard drone startup, let me say like that, here in the Southwest region of Cameroon. Although there's the political sector and all those issues that are actually happening, but there are many people here in the Southwest region that are actually very interested and passionate of aerospace engineering, of drones, but they are not familiar with
in the Silicon Mountain.
Yeah, actually. So there's a need for us to impose this type of technology for the youth there to try and leverage the gap between it. So, for example, if the drone technology is too far from them, we are trying to make as possible as to reduce it so that they will be up to date. So that was one of my main motivations. I'm passionate of aerospace engineering. I've not learned aerospace engineering from school. I've learned it from YouTube, and I'm also trying to share to the generations here in the Southwest region my knowledge about aerospace engineering. I'm not the best, but with time, obviously, I'll become the best.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's a good sign of leadership, knowing that you are not the best, because why teaching to the young ones, you are going to tell them you are not the best, but they will see in you a leader, someone who is continuously learning from the younger ones too, and they will have more respect for you, and then they will have more attention to listen to what you are saying. All the best for what you are doing. Mr. Simo, it's important to teach, it's important to learn every day, but we want to see the projects implemented. How can we manage this transition from knowing to how can I say, bring the projects to life so that they can solve the problems really. We know there are so many difficulties and yeah, you guys face every day, not just in Cameroon or in Africa, but worldwide. In everything we are doing, there are always difficulties. But how can we solve problems with our projects, not just learning, Mr. Simo?
Uh, okay, so the good thing about solving a problem is to identify the problem that is actually pertinent. You just not wake up in the morning and say that you want to solve a particular problem. They need to be a background, a history. For example, they need to be a story, and the story now will actually motivate you or will keep you going to realize the project and to solve that particular problem in your community. For example, one of the projects that we are developing at Unmanned Vehicles Laboratory, it's actually, there are two projects. We have Agri-Drone, okay, and we had ME90 rover. So Agri-Drone was one of the drones that we actually built in order to solve the issue at the level of agriculture. So Agri-Drone is a drone that you are still prototyping. It's a prototype for now, but we are trying to understand how we can use the drone to solve agricultural problems. Like I was speaking about detecting whether these plants are actually good or bad. So you can imagine that if you're a farmer and you have 10 hectares of land, obviously in the 10 hectares of land, there is some portions that are affected by disease, and it's going to take you a long amount of time in order for you to identify it. So with the help of a drone, for example, you can just find it in some minutes or in some hours. So you can actually see the need for us to implement such type of project. So the motivation comes with a story. Obviously, with everything there's a story, and that's basically just one of the projects. ME90 rover is basically the same, but it's moving on the ground. So instead of the air for the drone, it's instead in the ground. So I think you can check it in our website to actually see the development of the projects concerning.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mr. Simo, and all the best really for all you are doing. Please, do you have something to say to investors who can help you guys in what you are doing, help you like to invest and give you the possibility to have more projects and implement them quickly to solve the problems in our community? Do you have something to say?
Yeah, obviously, because more than 90% of entrepreneurs or engineers, once they go in for projects, they go in for prototyping. They don't actually go in for finished products, because finished products actually takes a lot amount of resources. For example, this drone that we are developing, the level of the prototype can be good, but we need to start designing everything from scratch, and it requires some kind of specific machines and materials that we don't actually have and that we can't actually purchase. So with the help of investors, we can boost up this type of ideas and make it at the level of a product, not more a prototype. So we transform the idea, that is the idea of that particular problem that you're actually solving, into a prototype. And when we actually show that the prototype actually works, now with the help of investors, we can actually scale up the prototype to a product so we can actually now sell to our local communities. So I
Wonderful,
think
great.
the help will be more for them to boost up, like to make it such that the prototype should go in directly for product.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Simo, the potential investors don't invest in science technology, not because most of the time it's not because they don't want to see the STEM flourish in Africa, but they don't see a return on their investment quickly. How can you assure these potential investors that if they invest in what you are doing, in what your friends are doing in the mechatronics field, for example, they will have a return on investment in Africa and in Cameroon in particular?
The pertinent thing is that obviously no one is going to get into projects or invest in a project that's not actually reliable. So what we are trying to do at Unmanned Vehicles Laboratories, identify projects that will be, how can I say, that will grow exponentially after some kind of years. So what I can actually say to investors concerning the financiability, like giving their money and expecting some kind of income and all those kind of things, is that we go in for projects that are actually feasible. For example, I can propose this project, like for example, this agri drone to someone, to an agriculture. And there is also a biggest problem is that we are also reluctant to change in technology. You go and meet a farmer, you speak about a particular problem that he's having, but he doesn't believe in it. He thinks that maybe, yeah, I've had this type of cases many times. You are speaking to them, you are going to them, telling that, okay, this is your problem. And he knows that this is problem. I'm coming with a solution, but he's reluctant. He's actually reluctant.
Is the reason why Afrik-innovscience is there, so that they can watch you guys and see that what you are doing is to solve the problems. They are reluctant, not because they don't want their problems to be solved, because they are not used to see such solutions, such technological solutions, if I can say like that. So they are not used to it. If a musician, an artist comes for example in front of them and start singing with them, an innovative mic, a speaker, they will be very, very happy. They will be very, very happy to see this musician, because they are used to see such people. But when a scientist comes, when an engineer comes with a solution, they are not used to it. So it's the reason why we have to promote science, technology, engineering, mathematics in our community, so that our population, our parents, our sisters, our brothers who are not in these fields can see the necessity to be used to these solutions, so that we can solve our problems in our community. Yeah.
But the most funniest part of the story is that someone else, like X from another country, will come and propose the same solution and is going to agree. So I don't really understand. So it's really funny. Yeah, it's actually really funny. And the issue is there is a possibility that your solution will even help the person in question at a level of efficiency that is even higher for that for that other guy, but you actually go for it. So it's really funny. So, but we keep on pushing with respect to that.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah,
We have to push. We have to push. We have to push, and people don't see that it's the passion, which you are passionate. It's the reason why you are doing that. You could leave it and do something else, but you are passionate about what you are doing. And that's the difference between scientists who are in the laboratory, or engineers who are in laboratory, with people doing other jobs. Other jobs are also important, but when passion is inside, we have to give the resources to these people who are passionate, so that they can do their job very well. It's, for example, footballers, they are doing the job because they are passionate, most of them. When they have the resources, they play very well. And then the whole country can be happy. Wonderful. Thank you very much once more, Mr. Yoan SIMO, for your time. Please, what can you say to finish this interview, this conversation?
So actually, I think I will conclude by inviting each and everyone who is actually reluctant of embracing technology to actually embrace it, because it's a wonderful technology that can actually help us and become to solve many problems in our society. So someone should not actually feel reluctant. If you're an entrepreneur, or if you're a farmer, if you're a businessman, be thinking of the technological aspect, because that's something that's going to boost up maybe your finances. So I'm encouraging, first of all, those guys to embrace technology. I'm also encouraging youths, okay, to get involved into technology, into STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So I'm also encouraging also mostly the aerospace engineer enthusiasts not to feel discouraged. Like being in Cameroon, there are no aerospace center or aerospace courses in our universities. They should actually feel the passion going for online trainings, online tutorials to actually be trained. And if you are even at the level of the Southwest region, you can actually visit us and join the association for you to be trained concerning aerospace engineering, or let me say drone technology, robotics, and artificial intelligence. So thank you so much.
Wonderful, Mr. Simo. Thank you very much for your time once more. All the best. We wish you all the best in everything you are doing. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thanks so much for this wonderful invitation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you once more. Please subscribe to this channel because there are so many people like Mr. SIMO Yoan who will continue to share what they are doing every day. And yeah, we have to encourage them. Like Mr. SIMO Yoan said, let us embrace science, let us embrace engineering to develop our continent, Africa. Thank you very much. See you next time. Ciao.